Hey, how's it going guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Field of Glory Empires. This game recently came out a couple days ago and I've been having so much fun playing it. Really, if you've never seen any of the Field of Glory games or series, then basically what this game is kind of marketing itself as is a challenge to Imperator Rome. It takes place in the classic era and it goes ahead and allows you to play one of like 100 different factions, and you basically just go ahead and craft a empire. As well as that, if you have Field of Glories 2, then you can go ahead and play the battles in that game and import them into your campaign. So you have this really in-depth campaign map and kind of turn-based, kind of like Total War, turn-based campaign. And then when you fight a battle, you can, if you own Field of Glory 2, you can go ahead and import that battle into Field of Glory 2, fight it out in the turn-based battle system, and then re-import it back into the campaign. And honestly, it kind of sounds like a lot of effort, but it honestly really isn't. You know, it takes about 2 minutes to go from one game to another. You can have them both open, so even though it sounds like a lot of effort, it really doesn't take too long to do. And I think the payoff for them battles is definitely worth the time, because this is a very in-depth game. It's a game that is quite rough around the edges, but if you can look past that, you're going to have a really in-depth game that you can just get stuck into. This is definitely a game for, very hardcore strategy fans, which I like to go ahead and put myself into that category. And it's just a ton of fun. Like, I'm a huge fan of the Field of Glory series. The battles are, oh my god, they are so much fun when you really get into like a huge engagement. It's just like a lot of fun. I can't go ahead and praise this game enough. However, if you are looking for just like your quick fix of like 30 minutes of gameplay, this isn't gonna be your type of game. If you're a big fan of like loading up a game and then just having loads of monsters fight each other for 10 minutes, this isn't going to be for you. This is for those where you sit down for like a good 4 hours and just go at it. You can take your time, but the battles take a couple hours, like a good hour to fight like a decently sized battle, and it can just go on from there. So it gets kind of crazy. So as you can see, these are all the factions you can play as. There's a whole ton. The campaign map is massive. And obviously this is set, I believe, 10 years after Alexander's death, or just after his death. So you have obviously the fragmented empire with Macedon. You've got, obviously Egypt down here. The Seleucids currently invading Bactria, which I can imagine will be quite a fun campaign to try and, fight as Bactria and push back the Seleucid horde. Could be a lot of fun. Obviously, all the Greek states. Rome is still in its infancy, actually currently at war with the barbarians to the north. Carthage is powerful, however, they still haven't subdued Africa yet, so you're going to have to fight a lot of the desert tribes and other powerful factions over there. You do have an extremely powerful navy, though. This navy is, like, unbeatable, and I would like to see, you're going to have to build up quite a force if you're ever looking to defeat that. You also have a lot of these other areas like this, the Celtic Independence, which is basically just like the rebel faction in Total War. They're just kind of like their own faction that sit around, they raid now and again, and you basically just have to kill them. So you'll quite quickly see like the Spanish areas get gobbled up as these Spanish tribes just expand into this territory. I'm also 90% sure that new factions can just spawn in these areas. I'm not sure what the prerequisites are, but I've had it where factions have spawned down here. This is held by the Italian independence, and I've had it where a faction has just been, I think the Brutias or something like that, actually just ended up spawning here. So I guess ones can form up, but like a lot of this area will just fill out with new factions and other stuff. So let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to play as Rome. This isn't going to be like a full-on Let's Play or anything. This is going to be one episode, and I might go ahead and continue it on if you guys enjoy it on the stream. So if you guys want to check that out, obviously go ahead and hit the subscribe button, bell, notification, drop a like if you enjoyed the video. I know I am rambling quite a lot, but I kind of just feel like this is a type of game where I can just talk about it, and that's kind of kind of the feel I get from the game. Also, if you guys are looking to pick this up, you can grab it on Games Planet. I am affiliated with them. You can pick it up. I think you can pick up both Field of Glory's Empires and Field of Glory's 2, which you do need to fight the battles in that game. You can pick it up, I think, for 34. It's the I'll link it down below. I think 34 euros you can grab it for, and I'm pretty sure that's available. It's not region locked or anything. So yeah, if you're looking to pick up this game after watching this video, then yeah, use my link down below in the description. So as you can see, you have some kind of like text right here, the interest. You also, every faction in the game has a set of these modifiers. Some have like 1 or 2. I'm not sure, like, yeah, the Dalmatia only have a few, but there's also a handful of factions which maybe are a little bit smaller that have a bunch more. So it's not necessarily like you know, only the big factions have a load of buffs. Like, there's some small factions who have a ton of modifiers as well. So you can see a few things that we've got, like some bonuses right here, conversion bonus. We get more infrastructure so we can build stuff. And obviously Carthage will have kind of their own sort of feel to it. And I really like the Carthaginian one, how they like build mercenaries in their army. So Carthage doesn't really rely on armies whatsoever. They rely on building mercenaries, so they don't have to worry so much about manpower. They can just spend money to build armies, and that's kind of how their military works, which is really cool indeed. So here we go, a fight for survival. You get a nice little bit of text here, kind of giving you the idea of kind of where you should head, and also giving you some good tips as well. The Roman army consists of disciplined legionaries and allied legionaries called alae, but 2 extra legions can be recruited very rapidly. So it's kind of a good tip, and I highly recommend doing this right off the bat. So here we go, we are now in the campaign map. You know, it doesn't look awful, honestly. You know, I don't think this game is going to win any awards for the most stunning graphics, but I think it does what it needs to do, and it gets by it. Obviously, I'm sure if, you know, this game is also, I should mention, only made by I think 6 or 7 people, so they don't have a huge team. You know, this isn't like a 200-man team. This is a small indie, I wouldn't say small, but like, you know, this is an indie game, so I feel like you can kind of give the game a little bit more slack than usual. So yeah, we'll start off. So every region obviously on this has its own set of population. You have the loyalty of the province, so if the loyalty goes low, then obviously you'll have rebellions and, you know, rebel uprisings and stuff, and civil wars can even occur. You have all your other like infrastructure and food. This stuff is what you kind of your currency. Each province has its own, and as it builds up, you can spend that to, you know, give yourself some more buildings. So for example, you don't pay any money for building buildings, you just spend this resource right here called infrastructure, which is a nice way of going about it. You have how much money you make from the individual province, as well as culture. Culture is really important, but we'll get onto that later. You also have how much manpower and metal you produce, as well as equipment, and you need all of these 3 things to build units on the map. So we'll start off by building some units. We'll go ahead and just grab up some extra legionaries. The game obviously did tell us that we need to recruit some, and as you can see, they'll be recruited next term, which is very nice. This is obviously going to cost us our resources. If we go back on it, you can see our stockpile equipment will go down next turn. We're losing metal as well as our manpower. You can kind of see it up here. Our overall resources are now going to be changed because we are recruiting units. We already have a handful of men in the army already, but let's go ahead and recruit a few more. So we could have some more legionaries if we wanted to. Some more cavalry would be nice as well, just to go ahead and give us that extra harassment edge. I absolutely love the way that cavalry is done in this game as well. It is so fun. It really is when you fight it on the battles. Cavalry feels like cavalry. I feel like there's very few games that actually get that right. So nice. So we've gone ahead and built our extra troops on our first turn. Any interesting buildings? So buildings are very interesting in this game. You get a random selection of buildings that you can go ahead and take up, and obviously the longer or the more infrastructure points it costs, the longer it will take to build. So if you build certain buildings like a wheel maker, which gives you infrastructure points every turn, you'll be able to build other buildings a lot faster. You can also stockpile infrastructure as well, so it can build up over time, and then you can spend it in one big go on a new big building, which is yeah, quite fun. So there's also, you know, a set of different types of buildings. You have kind of like the agricultural health buildings. Up here gives you more food and helps your cities grow. So for example, if I move some pops up to the north, up to the north, up to the top, onto working like the farms and the aqueducts and other stuff. You can see this growth goes up. I'll be able to basically get people a lot quicker, and obviously every time we grow, we get an extra person, and you can get more pops from events as well as winning battles. You can take a lot of slaves. So you can see right now I have Italian citizens, and I also have, you know, Hellenic slaves and other stuff, and each of these have their own sort of unrest and production. So some slaves are better working up here on kind of the infrastructure and the growth and the farms, whereas citizens are better on working kind of more of a commercial side of things and also the culture. So the second row goes in, gives you more infrastructure. So for example, if I do that, you can see my infrastructure goes up per turn. As well as that, I also get more equipment as well, I believe, and maybe more metal. So it's kind of good to work this, especially if you're looking just to build a ton of buildings. It's really good to work this. But also, you know, growth is very important. So that's good. And obviously this gives you more money down here. The yellow row gives you more money. Actually quite a lot of cash. I might do that. And then finally you have your culture. And it's really important to keep your culture up, because you go through these levels. You can see at the moment it says that we're uncultured here. We need to get our culture up to 1,000, and then we'll kind of go up a level of culturedness, and we'll be a bit more sophisticated in Rome. And that will have its whole wealth of other bonuses, which is very nice. Let's go ahead and grab up some buildings. I mean, we don't really... The nice thing is you don't need to build it, because you actually can just be a bit patient and build up your infrastructure over time. But I guess it is probably a pretty good idea to build a training ground over here. But we could also just grab up some extra food and stuff. So, for example, we could build a sheep herding house over in this province. Over here, and that would give us more food, which would allow us to grow quicker, but it would start reducing our infrastructure over time. So, you know, we might want to just not take this one right away, even though -1 infrastructure honestly isn't too much. We could also grab some extra money. That would give us more decadence, which is kind of like the city just becoming corrupt more than anything else, or a gambling ring as well, which would give us more money. All of these buildings as well do go ahead and give you access, you can see on the right hand side, to kind of another set. So you kind of want to specifically build certain regions to do certain things. And, you know, it's kind of a good idea, as you do have only a set amount of building slots. But let's go ahead and just grab this. We'll gain some wool as well, which will be really nice. It means we won't have to import it anymore, and hopefully we can export it to other regions. Our army is building, which is great. We'll have an extra unit of cavalry. I might try and build some other stuff down here. So as you can see right here, because we don't have any equipment stockpiled, it's going to take us a couple turns to build these guys, whereas in Rome, we have all this equipment stockpiled, so we can build these units a lot quicker. So it's an interesting way as well. You can really have like these military hubs, which just can pump out units very quickly. So let's actually just grab another unit of cavalry and maybe another skirmisher unit. Over here, we have like none. So for example, you can see right here, we have 8 equipment, and that's going to mean that we basically just can't really recruit anything here whatsoever. But it's fine. We're building up our army. So I guess we'll just go ahead and get a wheel maker here. But then again, I don't really care for any of the buildings it gives me. Like, the extra infrastructure is nice, but I think I would rather just more growth in Rome and more money and culture, because it's really important to have your culture up, and we'll take a look at that when I end my turn. So let's just maybe grab this. Yeah, let's grab a tier 1. I mean, there's actually no need right now, because our money's, we'll just let our infrastructure build up and we're fine. And then down here in the south, we already have really good roads down in Capua, or Capua. So what we could grab some hemp and 420 blaze it. We could try and just go more economic. I guess this will be a good trading city, so it'd probably be a good idea to pick up some shops. This will give us extra food and money, and it will also give us a bonus if we were producing salt or fish. So it's kind of a good idea to kind of couple that together. But yeah, let's go ahead and grab up a Gurn shop, and we'll start producing pots and stuff along them lines. Our army can just sit stationary, and I guess that's going to be it for our first turn. Kind of long. We also have some decisions to do as well. So we can develop stuff. This will give us some tough choices. So for example, we could develop infrastructure. Constructing your nation should be sped up, whatever the cost. So we can use this option. The infrastructure of all regions will be increased by 15%, but we'll lose loyalty. That's not too bad at the beginning of the game. Or we could spend a little bit of money to read it up, and we'll gain 3 infrastructure points per population. But that's actually quite good. That's actually really good, because if we have, say, for example, I guess we don't have that many. 14 people in Rome, that's like 40 infrastructure almost. That's not bad. That's like building basically an entire building. Most of these are 45, so that's not bad, and that's obviously in every region as well. But I think what we'll do is just get a percentage boost, because surely that would be more, right? If we get 10%, that's 2 in this region. I mean, I don't know why I'm trying to min-max it, because, I'm trying to explain this. But let's go and grab this up. 6 turns to 10%. I'm sure that would be more than the pop. Maybe not. And then that will do it when I end my turn. We've got a few other ones, but I don't think we need to do them. We're going to lose a little bit of this loyalty rating, but, we're very much starting out, so that shouldn't really be an issue. And it's only for 6 turns. So now I've ended the turn. It will go through the cycle. It will play everyone's move out simultaneously. So just kind of like... total war in a sense. All these armies and stuff will move, and we did not have any battles or anything, so now it's just running the AI movements, doing all their building and stuff. And here you can kind of see the leaderboard. So at the moment we're 72 for culture and decadence, and our legacy is up here. Legacy is kind of like how you win the game, by having the most legacy points. Normally a lot of the Greeks kind of take that because they have wonders and stuff. So as you can see, our nation is starting to regress. So it's a really cool system in this game, where you kind of have these stages of your government. The more culture you're producing, the better your government will get, and the larger your empire gets without as much culture, you'll start to get these aging tokens, which will kind of regress your government and make it worse. So for example, because I didn't add any culture to my empire, I am currently getting these aging tokens that will kind of slowly start to rip apart my government and my kingdom. And obviously the larger you get, the less culture ratio you have to all these decadence buildings, which is kind of like corruption in Total War. Is probably the best way to do it. So what I'm going to basically need to do is start producing a bit more culture, which is fine. So let's grab this up. We also get a 15% boost as well from that. It's not 10%. That's actually really good. That should give us a ton of infrastructure. I probably need a few more people down here as well. And you can see as well, because we built them extra legionaries, you can also see that our equipment stockpile has gone down massively here in the south. Which is, not the best in the world, but not the worst. So let's go ahead and sort out this culture thing. So let's just take, I think, 2, maybe 3 of these Italians and stick them down here under culture. We don't really have any culture buildings anywhere else, so I guess it's not too important. But we can maybe forego a little bit of growth. Yeah, I guess it's not too great. We should definitely be putting... We don't need this much... I mean, maybe it is good just to focus heavily on infrastructure at the moment, because we have that bonus going. So maybe I just say screw it. Don't grow in Rome. I mean, we have a lot of stockpile of food as well, so we should be okay. And just focus heavily on infrastructure. Money is also maybe a bit of an issue. So maybe we just go like... Yeah, we just leave them there. I still want to grow in this region, so that's fine. Oh, we have so much infrastructure down here as well. Nice. So, Caputa should grow very nicely. And let's take our first military move. So, it could have been good to maybe sit around. You can also see a lot of these like bonuses all popping up on the side where you can kind of get a good idea. So we managed to build that sheep herding house. So we're now producing wool there, which is good. I guess we're just going to make this region into like a heavy agricultural growth type thing. Which just produces a lot of these kind of green buildings, which I think is fine. Gives us a ton of food. So let's just do it. Let's just do it here. You can see right here as well, we have 8 building slots. Obviously, as the city grows, we'll get more building slots unlocked. So that's kind of good to know as well. So our army is going to be moving into this region, which should initiate a battle. We are at war with them. Also, diplomacy as well. Diplomacy is quite basic in the game. It's not really a very developed system, I don't think. But, it kind of gets you by. If we go to the diplomacy, you just have to click this on a faction. And now you can kind of see your relationship with everyone. You can basically see a lot of kind of basic, just normal ones. We kind of, start off kind of friendly with the south. Oh, also, Terentium is quite happy with us as well. So maybe we could offer them a cooperation. Oh, no, they're not happy with me, actually. I was clicking on someone else. I was clicking on Massalia. So, yeah, not many people like me in Italy whatsoever, which isn't great. The Etruscans actually kind of do like me. I might try and... Yeah, let's try and create a cooperation treaty with them. So I'll just send to them, and over the next couple turns, they'll get back to me. And you can see there's a percentage chance of it happening. So it's kind of like a roll of the dice in a sense, and that's kind of just because this is very much based off the war game. So RNG does become quite a large factor, you know, and you just have to kind of roll with it. And it kind of spices things up, you know. And I also love the way that it takes a couple turns for your messengers to get to certain people. So here we go, our first battle. Oh god, I really should change the commander. My commander is not great. But here you go. So what you can do is you can view the battle and fight it, just kind of auto-resolve it, kind of like in an Imperator Rome where you just ignore it. Or you can go ahead and export it into Field of Glories 2 and actually fight the battle, which is what we're going to do. So let's jump over. I might just show you guys right away just how quick it is to load up this game. You know, it's more just kind of like a loading screen than anything else. So let's do that. I'll click play the game, and I'll switch over my screen. So I'm not cutting any of this out whatsoever. We're already in the game. Then you have to go to battles and just Empire battles, and it will get the battle in. And there you go. You're literally in there fighting the battle that just was initiated on the campaign. And it's like really that quick, you know. I feel like this might like put a bunch of people off just because it's kind of like, oh, I have to load up another game. But it's literally like, that took me, what, 10 seconds, 20 seconds? That's just like loading a Total War battle, you know, especially if you haven't got an SSD. So in this, we are fighting the Gallics to the north. We have to rout at least 40% of their army, or, you know, 25, or whilst having 25% difference in our routed, or route a full 60%. You have 24 turns to do it, which is a long time. And here we can go ahead and develop it. I can also add some more generals to my armies and move on. And one of the things I really, really like about this game are the randomly generated maps. It goes ahead and creates such a dynamic battlefield. It tries to go ahead and keep it so if you're fighting in mountains on the campaign, there'll be some mountains in the battles. It tries its best. Sometimes you get some poor battles where that doesn't really pay off, but for the most part, you do get some awesome battlefields. And this is a great one because there's lots of interesting terrain which will really play a huge part in this battle. There's a river or a stream going across the battlefield, so moving across that is going to take up a lot of movement and probably kind of disorganize my front battle lines. There's a lot of rough terrain as well, which adds, you know, huge modifiers to the battle. There's, you know, forests everywhere, and there's some open ground as well, so you really have to kind of decide about where you want to put your soldiers in. So now the AI will take command. They have a heavy cavalry contingent on that left flank. Holy crap. We're going to have to maybe shift our cavalry over completely. The AI is moved. So I think they're attacking me, right? So we can be kind of a little bit more, I guess, less aggressive than we need to be. So let's just get our men across the river really quickly. Like that, so we'll get them up there. You can also move your entire force in, like, so you can see right there, everything's selected. I can just move forward and the army will go forward. However, if there's units blocking them which aren't moving, then the army will kind of get all disorganized. So I guess, yeah, this is difficult. I kind of guess I want them to kind of try and cross the river at me, but I also probably need to shift a large amount of my own cavalry over there, or at least something over there. So let's for example, I guess we have to move this contingent up as well. We'll move up our main battle line, like so, which is good. And we have some extra cavalry, so I guess I'll start shifting some cavalry over here. I'll start moving these guys. Again, we're crossing rough terrain, which is going to be a lot more difficult for my forces to get across. We should smash their front line into oblivion, though. It's just loose-ordered warband. It's this cavalry that's kind of making me a bit nervous. They shouldn't be able to charge me, I don't think, across this distance. And then we should be able to go ahead and at least skirmish them down a little bit. And then I guess this general starts to move across as well. Yeah, I guess that's the case. And then I really do want to start pushing my skirmishes on this flank as well. So let's do something like that. We'll let them advance forward. Something I should mention as well, that these blocks of infantry are made up of 470 men. I imagine theirs are much bigger. Yeah, so theirs are like 700 men. So you do actually have this great feel of like a grand scale of battle, which I really enjoy. So let's move up our infantry to the stream. I don't think I want to advance it. And I guess what we can do is we can advance this this infantry line up a little bit as well to kind of cover this flank and hold it in bay. And I might start caving in a few of these infantrymen as well. So we'll do something like that. We have a nice general there defending. And I guess start shifting a bit of these guys off. Let's get our skirmishers up forward and they can start throwing their javelins. Skirmishers have a very unique thing where they basically try and disengage most engagements. So even though I'm throwing these guys really far forward, they should still be okay as long as the cavalry doesn't come across and engage me. They should just be charged and retreat. And that should be fine. Let's go ahead and just basically just harass the majority of their battle line. Just wound them a little bit. We're doing some decent damage to their line. You're only killing like 15 men apiece, but that racks up over time and can become pretty deadly. As well as that, something really important to note is skirmishers can only throw their javelins onto unengaged units. So if there's a melee, you can't just come and throw javelins in their back because the melee is taking place. Do I want to cross this river? This is one of the things I really love about this game, especially in the battles, is that every move is really, really important because it takes time, moving this cavalry around. I can't just charge this unit, right? If I wanted to charge this unit, I'd have to turn the unit around and then I'd have to wait till next turn before I could charge into this unit. So right now, this unit is kind of obsolete for an entire turn as the AI has to try and kind of position them around. So right now I could continue to harass them. We are just going to continue to start throwing javelins in. Basically just doing as much damage as physically possible. Again, we're going to continue just to harass with our javelins. I'm kind of whatever happens with my javelins happens. I'm not too fussed if I end up losing them because I know I can rely on my heavy infantry. And we are doing some really good damage to this front line. This cavalry, again, continue just to harass. And we're forcing them closer and closer, which is good. So let's just keep on throwing our javelins at them. And I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to start curving around my battle line a little bit. So I'm just going to start tilting it around. So these guys are holding the forest, which is good. And I guess I'm actually going to maybe commit a little bit more in here. You guys definitely go here now, fill in that. I think my left flank might need a little bit of help. I also feel like I'm maybe being a little bit too standoffish. They've got so much cavalry, I should just try and smash the infantry engagement, and maybe that's what I'll do. But I just don't want to move into this stream. That's kind of my big worry, is moving into this stream and being punished because of it. So I think we're just going to sit around for another turn, let the rest of our infantry move up, maybe shift some more infantry over. I guess we're going to turn just to face this, just in case they try and charge me. But for the most part, this cavalry should still be AFK for another turn. I guess we're going to rotate this just a little bit as well. But everyone else can kind of just sit around. And then we have some more javelins we can throw as well. So we'll use our skirmisher cav just to continue to harass them. And again, so it's kind of like there's a lot of build up to this game. The question is, do we rush across the stream? I could catch them. We'd lose the charge. So right here, you can see the impacts of the battle. When a unit gets engaged, the combat has to happen no matter what. So it's a good idea to weigh up before engaging. So for example, we would most likely lose the charge. We'd lose it 36% of the time, which would be bad for us. We would take morale hits and stuff. And we would take damage to the unit as well. So I guess we will just stick around, continue to harass. I guess we'll hit these javelins because it's a general unit. General units do tend to be a lot tougher. And I guess we'll let them charge us, right? We'll just hold the battle line. This unit is just asking to be hit, even though we are not looking too good at killing it. I guess most of our strength does come to these TREI and the rest of the legionaries that we have. Okay, well, let's go ahead and continue to harass these guys. I guess I'm not the one looking to engage this. I really want to go ahead and hit these chariots as much as I can. So let's actually just come all the way around and just shoot the ever-living crap out of these chariots because they're going to be deadly. You can see when it says hold firm, they have to take a morale check, which is nice. You guys can come back in as well now for your javelins. We are bringing up more infantry as well to help out. We're going to leave the gaps in our battle line just so that we can quite easily maneuver around. And I think that's all the throwing we can do, right? Yeah, this cavalry still needs to come away around. We could also pass through the unit and throw some javelins. So skirmishers can pass through units, but they're kind of the only one. So they're going to charge into me, and I'll let them initiate the charges, at least on this flank. My left flank is kind of a real strength of my battle line. You can see the red numbers means that I won combat. Obviously, the red on my side means I lost combat on the charge. So, I'm losing over them. They're kind of doing some pretty heavy casualties on that right-hand side. And If the 2 yellow numbers means it's kind of just like a normal roll, normal charge. So basically, most of the time, whenever you're fighting, you want to see red numbers on their unit because that hurts them and it forces them to have a morale check as well. Yeah, they are just demolishing my cavalry right there. But for the most part, I think this will be good. He tried to engage my cavalry, and I think we retreated with our cavalry, right? Yeah, our cavalry is just really not too good. It struggles a lot. So I guess we're going to turn around again with this general. I guess we're going to have to turn around with this unit. They're looking to go ahead. The nice thing is they're focusing heavily on this unit right here. So let's just continue to just pick away at their chariots, try and bring them down to the size. We got some more cavalry out here, which I want to try and, force them in. We have a lot of javelins. We could throw some javelins in the back, try and impact that if we wanted to. Engage this unit from multiple sides and try and kill this general. Our infantry engagements are pretty even, honestly. I was kind of expecting the infantry engagements to go in my favor, but it does not seem like that is the case. We could throw forward some extra infantry. Yeah, a lot of these fights aren't as heavily favored as I would have liked. But I guess we just have to get stuck in. That is the Roman way, right? So let's throw this unit in. We'll charge impact them. Again, a pretty basic combat. But now what we can do is we can start hitting them from the side as well. And start, kind of ganging up on these units. That's kind of what this army has a lot of strength in. So we're just going to initiate these battle lines. That was a bad engagement for me, unfortunately. We'll charge through this. Use our javelins to hold them in place. Bring up some more spears as well. Yeah, so that's nice. We win most of the time we win a pretty decisive victory. Unfortunately, we did not get that win, which kind of sucks. I guess what we could do is we could bring this unit of javelins here. And I guess work down their javelins a little bit. It's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, let's just do that. Move the camera back a little bit as well. And I guess we just have to do some of these battles. I guess charging this would not be a bad idea. I thought they'd take more of a bigger hit from being on this stream, but they really don't. Obviously, as you can see, this unit is fragmented right now. So, unfortunately, they charged me. They won combat, and I have to take a morale hit. And, unfortunately, I rolled a really poor morale hit. So they're going to have advantages. But we have to fight this battle at some point. But it is also always a good idea to kind of leave a few of your worst case battle scenarios, which this definitely is, because they're fragmented. They fight well. I'm never going to win that fight. The best case scenario is I draw it. But it's good to go ahead and leave this to the end, because if something really bad happens, like this unit routes, it will affect everything around it. So sometimes it's a good idea just to leave these towards the end. I'm going to move up here and just hold my ground, because they're obviously going to charge me, and I would love to maybe tilt this unit around to the side and then have this unit come in and hit their general. I think that would be very good. We also have the numbers as well, so I actually might move up. Yeah, I really want to move up some units forward, I think. We could engage them, but it just doesn't look good for us. Let's move up this general, I guess up to here, just to fill in the battle line. No, I want to move it there because I want to filter this unit through there. So let's make this unit over here. I want to filter this unit through the gaps and kind of really start to use that Roman strategy. So you can just hold this cavalry unit. It just gets ripped apart. Yeah, the Roman cavalry definitely does not fare too well. We can no longer charge these guys by the looks of it. Could I move there? Yeah, there we go. Again, continue to work down these chariots as much as we can. And just overturn again. So you can see these battles do take a long time when it comes to engagements. But, it's completely worth it. So I think... Oh, yeah, we got here. We broke on that right flank. We don't really expect too much. And they actually could get some really good rolls off there. Now we're going to continue to put up the pressure. Oh, my God. I'm getting, hurt pretty badly on that flank. But I think now that I've kind of funneled in a lot of their forces into the stream, we should start performing a lot better. As well as that, they are chasing my cavalry down really heavily, so that should be fine. Now we can hopefully engage a large portion of their cavalry. Now we can pin it in place and bring it down, as hard as quickly and as effectively as possible. Man, my infantry is just getting chewed up right now. This is bad. Luckily, we fragmented them on the left. And we're doing good in the center as well, even though they are holding firm. And then, yeah, I guess it's infantry engagements now, right? Cavalry's doing its thing. And generally, you want to go ahead and throw your javelins and stuff first, just because that will weaken the enemy before doing any other engagements. And unfortunately, we can't do anything there. I guess we could charge like that. I guess we'll just move around here and bring some cavalry around the flank. This right out, we've only got one unit going up against a large portion of their force here, which is a little bit scary. We continue to harass their infantry. Okay, now this is important. We need to break this unit right here. We need to hit our 68% chance of wounding them. And we do, but they hold firm. That is so bad for us. I really needed to win that combat so I could push through and help out the other fights. That's really bad. That's so bad. Yeah, we're getting kind of a little bit unlucky here. Okay, this is what I wanted to do now. I wanted to bring this unit up. I wanted you guys to smash through here. And we lost our general! What the hell is going on? This is like the unluckiest I've ever been. I feel like I'm not playing awful, but we lost our general on the charge, and it was a drawn combat. Man, that is going to be hard to come back from that. I mean, luckily we can smash through here. And how the hell? We just lost a charge against skirmishers. I don't even know what the percentage was on that. But it can't have been that. Like, it must have been like 4. Oh my god. Yeah, we're going to probably lose this battle, honestly. I don't really know if there's much more I can do elsewhere. Well, we definitely want to engage these chariots. And we even lose against the chariots now because we're fragmented. Man, Rome would be, yeah, Rome would not be happy with me. I'm not going to lie. Well, we have to engage here now. I need to start coming in and just basically ganging up on them as much as I can. And as I said, all of these combats happen, so we might as well just get through them. What would be what's the best combat? So here, it's probably our best combat. And yeah, we managed to win that, but again, they held firm, which is unfortunate. We'll come in again. And they held firm again. Luckily, they fell back, but still, it does free up this unit as well to help out, because they're probably going to rear charge me, so we can help out there. I guess this one next will do. We got ruined there again, and we fell back. I guess that'll allow us to then charge, and we can actually envelop this unit if we wanted to. And now I guess we do these. So let's do this one first. Luckily, we drew that. This is going to be a bad one. No, we got lucky there. We got here our 40%. And then this combat. This unit's just going to ruin. So the reason I'm doing these combats like one after the other is because I'm doing the most important unit first. Because if I end up losing, like if, for example, this unit's more likely to lose than this one is. So if I do this one first and I get destroyed by the AI, then this unit will have to take a morale check. So I'm doing the combats that are more likely to succeed or less likely to fail more than anything else, so that I don't have to take morale checks on all of my units. I feel like that's kind of the best way to do things. And we just have these last few combats left. I don't even want to do them. They have to do them, but we'll just ignore that. So you can see this one fires because I didn't do it. Luckily, it was a draw. This one's going to be so bad. Overall, is this... Okay. Overall, it wasn't going too bad, but now, yeah, the AI is going to cave in this right flank. We're just getting absolutely wiped away. We really are. And we had a lot more combat power than them as well. Like, a lot more combat power. I feel like I've kind of successfully nullified the left flank. Like, their cavalry has basically been useless this entire battlefield. But yeah, that right flank is just broken now. They're hold firm though, which is good, but they're taking heavy casualties. Hold! They held firm 3 times! That is amazing! Yeah, we are holding. I'm getting lucky now with my dice rolls. Fragmented heavily on that right flank. I'm not really having it. The only success I have is that little bit of success in the left-hand side, but even still, that's kind of struggling. Yeah, look at that. We need big breaks on this left-hand side. We should hopefully break this unit now. Yeah, we destroyed that and they break, and that's going to cause a big morale shock. So this is the nice thing. Because the AI has a lot of numbers, we're kind of successfully clumping them up, and if we can make a mass rout happen, that would be absolutely huge. So let's turn and shoot at these, start wounding the infantry. The nice thing is, the cavalry, for the most part, is, yeah, as you can see, like, it takes... This cavalry has basically been out of action twice, you know? We're making it a really good rear charge. We need this to go well. They're going to evade, but again, if this cavalry wants to come back to the fight, it has to swivel around, rotate, and then come back. And it's going to take it like 2 or 3 turns to do that. You guys can push forward. Again, I just want to kind of pin this cavalry down. I'm kind of spending my best units over here, but I think it's kind of worth it. Just continue to harass these units as well as they come in. Javelins are such an effective unit just to keep the enemy at bay. Again, we just want to keep them busy. These guys are basically useless this entire battle. Another good thing you can do as well during these battles as well is you can kind of try and chain attack the enemy. So for example, this unit is fragmented right now, meaning it's going to fight so badly. You can see I basically have a 101% chance I'm going to lose this battle. You know, like it's going to go really badly for me. However, if I can cause this unit to be fragmented or take a discipline hit, then it will mean it's a lot less effective in battle. So it's not a bad idea to do other combats before doing this one, because maybe I can affect this unit some other way and make this combat a little bit easier. So there's quite a few things you can actually do to help out. I really want to maybe try and break this flank here and help out. Are you guys going to win that? No, you're really going to struggle. We do have some of our heavier infantry in, but let's smash into this. We should smash this unit. They held firm though, unfortunately. There's some more javelins. I guess we're just going to continue to harass this unit right here. Just try and, you know, continue to pepper their cavalry, cause them some issues. You guys are already engaged. You guys have thrown already. Do we have any more javelins? Oh yeah, we have a bunch more javelins over here. There's not really much more we can do besides just throw javelins into this unit. So we're going to bring this unit over to help out. I guess we're just going to have to charge in on here and hope for a good battle. We fragmented them and we pushed them back. That was a big engagement. If we could win this one, nice. We won this one as well. That's huge. So this center is going good for me finally. And if I can win this center, I can either wrap around or I can turn back and try and smash this in, which I might have to try and do. And now we have some other bad fights. So for example, you know, I want to do this combat now, because if I get lucky and hit this 12%, which I do, I could have maybe made this fragmented and made this combat a little bit easier. Now I'm even losing against skirmishes there. We lose against everything here as well. Yeah, this right flank's going to be very deadly. I guess I want cavalry here, though, so that I can throw. When this unit breaks, I want these guys to be able to come in. Again, we might as well just do these combats. They fell back. So that's good that they've disengaged, which is nice. Where else do we want to fight? I guess over here as well. Nice, got that. Again, they held firm, though, which isn't the best thing. This cavalry, where do I want? I feel like the cavalry situation is kind of sorted, so I wouldn't mind maybe just charging in. Yeah, in on them. I might just rotate around and just get ready to charge next turn. Because we only have one unit here. Again, that's not really a good one, so we'll just rotate a little bit. Take up our movement points, and I guess we have to do some of these other combats that necessarily aren't great for us, but, you know, a lot of the time we can just draw with them. So this one first. This one first, because we have a better chance of drawing. Unfortunately, we did not, though, and we have to do this again. I mean, for the most part, you can just ignore this and just hit end turn, and it'll do it automatically. But as I said, it's always good to kind of do the important ones at least. And everything else, like, there's nothing else that could really affect battle. I mean, maybe this could, if we rolled with 2%. And we did roll it! Holy crap! That was huge! That was so big! We've got really unlucky, but we routed their general, which shocked basically all of these units. Now this becomes a lot more satisfying. Because now we can engage this kind of more depleted unit. Oh, wow. That's why it's important to do, because now we can kind of react to it, you know. Now the other combats don't really matter. Okay, so things aren't awful right now. We've kind of brought it back a little bit. Killing and routing one of their generals is huge. Man, that right flank held firm again. I can't tell you how important that is. Unfortunately, that flank got completely broken through, but we held firm everywhere. And they break finally. But, I mean, they held their own. They really did. Oh, yeah, we're losing some important units now. But luckily, we're holding. We're actually chasing down some of my units as well. So the AI is actually smashing me right now. Yeah, we had some really unfortunate rolls. As well as that, the quality of our infantry is actually not too bad. They're actually holding pretty well against me. We're getting lucky with these hold firms, for sure. We really are. Do I not have a general over here? Did I bring over? I swear I kept a general over here. No wonder I'm not doing as well on that right flank. The generals go ahead and give you like an extra morale bonus as well, so you're less likely to fragment and stuff. Which is maybe why we're doing so effective on this left-hand side. Okay. So you can see these battles can end up taking quite a long while, honestly. So I definitely want to... I mean, how do we lose this cavalry? Is it because we're on rough ground? It's because we're on rough ground, right? We get smashed by that. We get smashed by that. You guys can continue to harass them. This cavalry is going to start becoming an issue, though, if I'm not careful. You guys... How do we lose that? It's just urban militia, and we get smacked by it. Okay, well, you guys can charge in. If this is probably a good thing to do, because maybe I can free up this unit. We can break this unit, impact it, fragment it. Is there anything else I really want to try and do before because I'm most likely going to break this unit no matter what, right? So is there anything else I can do to really try and make that happen? I guess maybe engage this, even though, again, as I said, we probably lose this. I fell back again. I'm trying to just try and get them like stuck in if I can. Is there anything else I can use to like shock their units? Like, this is the engagement probably, but I don't particularly want to do this. Let's just finish off this. Nah, we're not going to break this unit. That really sucks. Yeah, I kind of needed this unit to break, so that means we kind of probably have to do this now. Focus a little bit more over on this left-hand side, which, again, I didn't really want to do too much. They're caving in my back flank as well. But we can rear charge this. Flank and attack, try and break some of their chariots is pretty decent. Use more of our javelins as well. Maybe come in here as well. Yeah, start hurting their militia. And we've got some other combats we need to do, so I can't believe we lose this much against their urban militia. I would have really thought we would have just cut that to pieces. Even our like good units are really struggling. Yeah, he fell back. Bringing them back is good because it frees up these guys a little bit. I'm actually going to bring this general deep into my battle lines because I really want to go ahead and make sure just everyone has a morale bonus. No more javelins left to throw. So now it's just these infantry engagements. You guys need to turn. And I need to help this right flank, yeah. So it should free up these guys, even though they don't have any more movement points. But I need to turn these guys around. So maybe what I shouldn't have done that right. I should have engaged with these guys and then brought these guys across the river to help out. But it's fine. And then that's that entire left flank done. Yeah, these other fights just not going to go well. That was brutal. Okay. I think that's our turn, right? We have some cavalry left as well. Let's actually just charge that. We lose it. We inflict a few more casualties on this unit. And it's just this unit. Yeah, that right flank is looking very bad for us. We currently have routed about 40. They've routed 14% of us. I can't believe I'm losing the first battle. It's kind of crazy. But they're doing a lot of damage to me, and my front line just isn't as holding as effectively. Oh, they rear charged me as well. That's catastrophic. Now their cavalry is really starting to come over and getting ready to play. Okay, so what's really important for us? They're going to be attacking me. We're broken there as well. We need some, like, crucial wins on this left flank, I think. We need some big fragments. I mean, killing their general is huge. We honestly need this unit to break, because if this unit breaks on their turn, yeah, I think we can mass route this. Route, oh, come on, if that unit routed, I would have had an entire unit spare. They broke, which is huge. I can now basically redirect 2 full units of my legionaries to this right-hand side. That's huge. And we got a unit back of rallied as well. Okay, that's good. All things are not lost. So we can rotate this general unit around, ready to charge in. You guys can charge into that. We want to try and at least break these guys back, or yeah, make them fall back, which is good. You guys continue to throw your javelins. You are whittling them down slowly but surely. Let's try and push off their cavalry again. Just try and warm them off. I mean, this is pretty bad, I'm not going to lie. I guess what we can do is just turn our general around and get ready for him to charge in. We need this unit to break. We really do. So let's just try and win this battle. Okay, they broke, which is huge. They all hold firm, though. Unfortunately, that battle did not go as well as I would like. These guys can now turn, so we're going to actually just shift these guys completely around and basically use them to just smash in. Javelins keep on coming in on these guys. They must be very low to going down. Yeah, there's not many of them left now. The engagement doesn't go too well, but we can just throw javelins as well. Don't forget that. We're now starting to check them morale, which is good. And these war chariots are, you know, getting depleted. That's good. Okay, come on, just give me a miracle win here. Yes, come on. And we disrupted them and pushed them back. That's fine. We're bringing it back slowly but surely. This fight is just completely fucked. Oh, 14% win against them. Okay. Okay, it's just a draw. That's fine. Big edge draw there. We need this right flank just to draw. Just give me some luck. Just draw. Ah, no. And we're fragmented as well. No, that's not good. Disrupted is the yellow and fragmented is the red. And getting fragmented is really bad. Really, really bad. Okay, well, that's going to be... Yeah, it's going to be our turn. That's going to be huge. And they're going to charge in and probably, luckily, if they then charge my general. My general is engaged, though, and he has a lot of support, which is fine. Their cavalry is now coming in, though, which is kind of bad. And then chariots as well. Oh, that's going to be awful. But luckily as well, now that their right flank, it's not the end of the world, right? Because even though their right flank has completely disrupted mine, they now have to worry about my skirmishers coming in. My skirmishers can now actually start to play a big role in the battle. And we're now starting to rally a few of our units. So now my skirmishers can come in and start harassing them again, which is good. So we can start actually whittling down their infantry. Let's focus down this unit of infantry right here. I want some, just give me a high roll damage. 5 is pretty bad. Basically, we're just trying to do as much damage as physically possible. Try and disrupt their battle line. Oh my god, that right flank though is huge. Well, at least we can come in now and actually flank attack them. Oh, we didn't win that. That was really unfortunate. But we're going to have to come over now. Try and get a win here. Maybe I should have done this attack first before flanking. Could have been bad. Or better for us. Let's turn and shoot this cavalry. Their cavalry has taken a lot of damage this day. They just straight up break, which is huge. The question is, what do we want to do now? I guess we advance these guys up. I definitely want to continue to hit their cavalry as much as I can. There's actually not an awful chance that we lose that fight. Again, let's try and keep these guys in place. Because now that they're engaged, so this is a good place. They held firm, but now what we can do is we can charge them, and they should be stuck in this engagement right now. So yeah, they're pinned in place, which is nice. I guess we continue just to try and push off their cavalry. I know this is a valuable unit to send away, but I really just can't have this cavalry coming in. Definitely let's try and break this general. We rear charge, which should now give this general a better chance of winning. Unfortunately, we didn't get any victories there, but that's fine. Is what it is. And then, can anyone else move? So if you guys, and that's it, right? Yeah. Now let's, I guess, do this combat, which we're going to lose. Luckily, we only drew. And it's just you guys and no one else. Okay, cool. We can have a turn again. So we are losing by 9%. Or 11% now. But I think the battle is salvageable. Right flank is scary. They're fragmenting my general and breaking my general, which is bad. And he fell. It's going to be bad. But not awful. I think we're going to win this flanks quite heavily. And if we can break their cavalry elsewhere. Like if we can break this right flank, I think we win. Which we are now doing, which is good. Basically, this entire portion of my army can just shift across. But so are theirs. It's going to be a close one for sure. We got it to 8% again. So it's 8% in their favor. I guess we want to hit them. This definitely has to turn around now. The problem is I have to keep on charging this because if I try and turn around, they're just going to rear charge me. That's going to be really bad for me. Give me a win here. Oh, we killed their general though. That's not bad. That's not bad. Losing that general is going to be a big hit. Here's a better chance on the charge, you guys. That was unfortunate. Continue just to harass this one unit back here as much as we physically can. Just javelins after javelins. And then we have this engagement. Disrupted them. Fell out. So that frees up that unit, which is nice. And then we have this charge if we want to do it, but I don't think we do. Maybe we just advance fully. There's also a unit about to come in my back as well, so maybe we need to turn and be ready to face that. And then, yeah, you definitely turn around. And I guess you guys have to engage them. Hopefully we can just break this left flank. More javelins, just continue to harass. Not really a lot of damage now on these guys, but 2 damage, you know, it does add up. We have to do this engagement, unfortunately. Disrupted us. And then finally this engagement, which nothing much really happens. So we only have like 12 turns left now, so this battle is running down. Also, if I get over 60% of my army routed, they win as well. So I have to be very careful not to like lose big portions of my army either. Especially when they're rear flanking me like that. Completely ruining me. We just need like big pushes somewhere. I mean, killing their generals is pretty huge. If I can maybe just like get this infantry over here in time, we can bring it back. And just maybe a bit of luck. I mean, this is a close battle. They're definitely pulling ahead in this engagement right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish this off really quickly. Oh, held firm. They pushed them back, but holding firm is just so brutal. This unit has been absolutely ruined by their superior chariots, which is bad. Man, I really want to turn this unit around. And just try and hit them. Yeah, let's try and do that. These chariots are like off the field now, so it's not too bad. Yes, they're holding firms, which are really hurting me. I guess we'll just try and take down some of these chariots now. We better do any damage to them. Good rear charge might be impactful though. And then we can actually start bringing these guys around as well. I guess we have to be cautious though of these units coming into my rear as well. Man, this battle is very difficult. I mean, I guess we can try and fall back. and we held firm as well. So when you do that fall back, you have to basically take a cohesion, and hopefully that'll just get me out of range or bring them too close so that I can charge them. And we also have some javelins left remaining. I guess we just rush him over to his flank, maybe. I mean, it's just these last couple combats, which, again, just does not look good for me at all. I don't think there's really much I can do about it. These chariots and units in the side have just absolutely smashed me. And I think that's going to be it for the battle, honestly. I think losing that right flank is just going to be so bad. Unless I get really lucky, like, this unit is just broken, yeah. And they're going to continue to push through. Like, I need a legendary unit just to hold the line. Which they are doing, so it's not all bad. And there we have it. We have been defeated. They broke me in my turn and, yeah, brought me down. I can't believe I lost that battle. That's normally such an easy battle to win, but my front line just couldn't handle it too well. I wonder what the stream... Because, like, I was playing defensive behind the stream, but it didn't really seem to come into play too much. So if you guys have any tips for, like, for the terrain, like... Is it better if they attack me on rough terrain? Do I take the negative? Or do they take a negative because they're attacking on rough terrain? Like, how does that exactly work? But you can see the kills. So they deployed 12,000 men. So they did heavily outnumber me. And they lost a decent portion of their army. We only lost 2,000, whereas we lost 58% of our army, which is pretty bad. A lot of our men were captured and deserted. And now what you can do is you just go ahead and click this button. It will load up Field of Glory's Empires really quickly. And again, I'll switch over the game capture for you guys so you can check that out. So this is all in real time right now. You import the battle results. So, I mean, we could just like pretend like that never happened, but we won't bother. Obviously, that's no fun. So again, it's basically just literally just like a loading screen. And what you can do as well to speed up the process is just have both games open. That's what I tend to do whenever I'm playing it. Is just have Field of Glory 2 on in the background and then just import it and then you're back in the campaign. So we lost our general, unfortunately. And we took heavy casualties on our entire army. We did also wound them a little bit. But their numbers just came in big. And these warriors, they proved their worth this day. They really did. So now we're going to take a big old hit right there. And I guess what we'll have to do, so now we'll jump back into our turn. And then we'll probably have to retreat back to Rome and try and rebuild our armies. I mean, one of the strengths of Rome is that they have a ton of metal and a ton of manpower. So they can just mass produce. But yeah, losing that wasn't too good. So Flaxfield has been completed there, which is good. I will take that. So that's another building. We could maybe take a look at another one. Which I think we were planning on just making this a heavily food-based place. So this hits our money pretty heavily. But again... It gives us huge health bonuses, so let's think maybe a few more people on growth as well. Just growth and infrastructure. I mean, we wanted infrastructure heavily, right, because we're getting the big boosts from it. So there's that. You have some more infantry being built there, so you guys make your way to Rome. Our general is dead. I probably should have definitely have chosen a better general. We do have some better offensive generals, as well as some better defense. Like, he would have been perfect, right? Oh, wow. So he's not too good, actually. He reduces... I mean, he's... So when he's in rough terrain, his army really suffers. So I guess it's not too great to have that. Let's just pick this guy. He doesn't have an effect, but he's got a good defensive rating. You'll obviously retreat back to Rome, and we will end up recruiting some more men. So, yeah, a new general is available, and we've received another aging token. That's not good, because when you get up to 5, you regress, and your place becomes a lot worse. Your kingdom becomes a lot worse. Poor military isn't good as well. Oh my god, yeah, he's a good diplomat though, and he's a good administrator. But yeah, that increased experience level and movement points is actually really big for our faction. So I guess what we're gonna want to do is just roam things. We'll start mass producing armies. We need every place recruiting men. I think right now, 5 turns. I guess we'll just try and get a few more skirmishes. We just need numbers right now. So just something like that is fine. Do we have our cavalry? Most of our cavalry got